Did you know that Sears built homes? Sears was once the king of shipping home goods. In the way Amazon dominates the market today, consumers in the early 1900s loved to thumb through the Sears catalog, purchasing anything from clothes and general merchandise to home appliances, automotive parts, and tools. But, and this is big, the period during which entire homes could be ordered via catalog was even more impressive. Today we will explore the history of this original titan of home building and how it forever changed the housing industry. The beginning of an empire. Sears got its start when founder Richard W. Sears brought the R.W. Sears watch company to life in 1886. His passion was selling watches, and he started with a mail order model right out of the gate. He soon realized another opportunity in the repair and maintenance space. After all, the watches he was selling would eventually need replacement batteries and repair. He sought out Alva C. Roebuck, who joined the team in 1887 and offered watch repair services. The mail order business now includes sales and repair for watches and jewelry. Sears and Roebuck launched their first catalog the same year. The pair sold the company just 2 years later, but continued to work together, founding another mail-to-order operation, which would become Sears, Roebuck and Company in 1893. Roebuck was bought out of his share of the business in 1895 by Julius Rosenwald, a well-to-do clothing manufacturer. He worked to reorganize the business and inject some new ideas, while Sears got to work writing catalogs filled with offerings. They would tap into the unserved market, farms and villages that didn't have a convenient access to retail outlets. Again, this is the era before Amazon and UPS giving even rural areas all the access to shopping they could want. Their timing was perfect too, as the US Postal Office launched free delivery to rural areas in 1896, followed by parcel post in 1913. Suddenly a world of options was open for anyone with a catalog in their hands. Over the years, the company continued to bring in new blood and expand its offerings. For a time, the company even owned Encyclopedia Britannica and sold them through the catalog. Next, they honed in on automobiles, opening the first of many retail locations to take advantage of the lucrative industry, making home ownership accessible. One of the many options available in the massive Sears catalog was the mail-ordered homes. It might sound crazy to ship out a 25-ton kit with more than 30,000 individual pre-cut fabricated parts and more than 700 pounds of nails. We're talking about 700 pounds. But it was a huge success when it launched in 1908. All a customer needed was cash and access to the catalog. Over 31 years, Sears sold as many as 75,000 houses, and customers weren't getting tiny shacks delivered either. Many of the models available were built using the finest quality materials available at the time. Half the homes sold, over 35,000, were built by homeowners themselves. In a self-industrious period, families and the help of their local communities put together their mail-to-order homes and lived happily ever after. And these homes were infectious. When someone saw how easily they were assembled, whether by civilians or builders, it was no surprise when neighborhoods were overrun with Sears homes. Local builders saw the opportunities to expand their business. They would purchase and build one home, using it as a model home. Building companies could offer the same array of Sears catalog, expanding their choices while marketing their services to potential customers. One of the keys to Sears' success was its ability to provide customization. It isn't that Sears wasn't an innovative designer in real estate, but the company could replicate what was popular and allow several modifications to match buyer taste. The line of business touched an emotional chord and rural landowners. It spread like wildfire because these folks were eager to have a sleek, comfortable, and quality home without giving up the wide open spaces they come to love. Sustainable growth is what helped Sears achieve and maintain success. When they first entered the mail order home business, they didn't launch the 400 plus home designs. They didn't know if they'd even have 400 customers, let alone manage the logistics of so many options in an untested market. They started with one option, a model number 125, a bungalow-style home with 8 rooms. The purchase price was less than $1,000, and it was advertised as the finest cottage ever constructed at a price less than $1,500. Eventually, they shifted the inventory from a numbered system to a name system. Home options took on names like Adeline, Stone Ridge, Magnolia, and further appealing to potential buyers. Sears also knew their customers. The company realized that not every person in the nation was their ideal customer. Sears' most loyal customers lived in rural America. And over the 30 years that Sears sold homes, around half of Americans lived in rural areas. Sears wasn't the first to sell in this market. Aladdin Houses, formerly known as the North American Construction Company, started selling small structures like garage and boathouses and small cottages as early as 1906. But Sears was already an industry giant in selling everything to furnish a house, so they had a more extensive existing customer base to tap into. Sears took the concept of one-stop shopping very seriously. In 1911, Sears added an enticing option for customers: financing. A tight housing market made it even more challenging for new homeowners, and the banking community underserved the fast-growing working and middle class. Sears offered easy-to-understand payment plans, reasonable interest rates, and upfront costs, making them the clear choice when purchasing a home. The application didn't require disclosing race, gender, or finances. It made the impossible possible for large groups of formerly ineligible buyers. Sears was set up for success on multiple fronts, but this gold rush for housing would not stand the test of time. By the late 1920s, the Great Depression was in full swing. Fewer customers were purchasing homes and using mortgage programs. Sears officially withdrew from the home and mortgage loan market in 1934. The following year, they went back to selling homes. Sears experienced a slight resurgence once the Federal Housing Administration launched federally insured mortgages. The housing market came back to life just for a brief period, but this too would not last. Tens of millions of dollars in mortgage defaults, fueled by the bottomed out economy and the shortage of building materials due to World War II efforts, were the final nails in the coffin for this line of business. Sears produced the last home catalog in 1940. Even without new homes flooding the market, Sears had dramatically changed the rural real estate landscape. They were one of the first to disrupt and demystify homeownership. Entire neighborhoods could sprout from the pages of a catalog, and masterful marketers that they were, Sears practically guaranteed return customers, as freshly built homes could readily be restocked and anything and everything from the Sears 4-pound catalog. This behemoth company also had unintended benefits because they were responsible for so many homes across the country, and they needed to be able to produce parts for hundreds of models at the drop of a hat. They helped standardize parts, drywall, asphalt shingles, siding, and everything that went into building a home benefited from the standardization. It even resulted in lower construction costs for the average buyer. For the end users, it made modern amenities like indoor plumbing, electricity, and central heating to more Americans than ever before. This in turn improved the quality of life in rural America and improved health with reliable and sanitary solutions to heating and indoor plumbing, and increased the productivity for working homes with less time spent on domestic chores. Sears also shifted homeowner mindsets. Before these new layouts, many Americans lived in multi-generational households, but Sears marketed to newlyweds who would thrive in their own homes and single-family living, which is still the most sought-after design today. As we mentioned earlier, Sears' simple application allowed buyers to be anonymous and gave buying power to those suffering under Jim Crow-era lawmaking. Sears shaped shopping habits across America and introduced consumerism. Sears shaped shopping habits across America and introduced consumerism to historically underrepresented consumers. The on-demand and DIY solutions Sears made available through their catalog offerings sparked a generation of self-sufficient middle and working classes. Sears might have filed for bankruptcy in 2018, but there is no denying that it forever changed the real estate and home building market, providing resources and affordable options to the masses. We hope you enjoyed today's Spotlight feature. Would you buy an entire home from Amazon if they brought this business model back to life? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you found this video entertaining, let us know with a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.